What it do, YouTube? This is Acid Roots Wired. So this is episode 7 of the Rise to Honor playthrough. So in this particular episode, we're going to basically get stuck in this next episode here. Not this particular one, but the next one. So I did gameplay segments for 2 more episodes. But the thing about it is, some of these boss fights are really a bastard and a half. I just would have to go ahead and say that a lot of these, it just seems like I pretty much sense, probably from this point forward, despite the fact that it's probably only like the 3rd or 4th stage in the game, I sense that a lot of these boss fights, the thing about the boss fights in this particular game is just the fact that you have to understand the mechanic. They have like a particular gimmick, and this next cat that's going to be in this, it's just going to be more monotony. I mean, it'll be entertaining to kind of see here. I do feel like this is, once again, this is a great rental type game for the concept of it, but I think the tackiness of it can kind of piss folks off. I'd have to say it's just kind of, I admit, you know, it's not like I'm thinking, oh, this is like a game that's going to be like Grammy worthy, something like that. It's not like it's not a great game, but it just has its tackiness factor. It's just this cheap plastic kind of fun. You know, you just look after it, just reading the concept behind it. But yeah, just the pitch. So you'll be seeing probably a few episodes that just get strapped in this winter and fall as far as those pitches kind of happen for like the concept of what's going to be happening with some of these boss fights here, because it's just, we're not going to get too much for progress amongst like some of these next several episodes here, I'd say. So just kind of just get used to some of these stages here, but yeah. It really boils down to the concept, and I look after it like, yeah, I just, you know, obviously the music, doing that as well, trying to get some of those music reviews belted out, the mixtape type fare. Some of the ones I've been listening to in recent times. Have been listening to Lil Wayne's Rebirth, just trying to get towards that. Just want to see what's up with some of that type pitch. I do feel like that's a pretty trendy album. It's definitely one that set off some trends and like, or you know, just help kick off like emo raps and those type pitches. So I'm appreciating that album more. Want to get towards that, see what's up with that. And I've been listening to Hobson's LAUSD Result, which is a pretty underrated mixtape. I look after that. I just don't know how many full-bound people would be talking about Hobson's LAUSD Result in terms of like a standard walkthrough in like a video game or something. I mean, you get folks who probably know about Hobson, but I just don't know how much he's crossed over to folks who would be, you know, playing a Grand Theft Auto or a Devil May Cry game or something like that, you know, one of those types of games. Final Fantasy, even some of those type fares just kind of happens to be a thing, but yeah, I've been I feel like there's some good songs on LAUSD Result that I listen to a lot when it's like 4, 5, 6 in the morning. It just really feels like after hours kind of hangout fare, which is pretty similar to how this particular game kind of feels like. I mean, even though some of this feels like pitch at night, I do like this kind of nightclub kind of suave penthouse type feel that's going on currently. But just some of those type of ones, like one of which with Hobson is the What You Know About Hobson song, is a pretty nice one. There's some other ones I can't really think of, like, I also like ADHD, pretty good. It's a pretty good bop to kind of get. It's just a nice, surprisingly hitting club song, kind of get that one. It's good feels for that particular, how that kind of goes, but some of those type tunes on there, it's just crazy. Him putting out quality mixtapes, kind of like with Kid Cudi, how that kind of happened, how he was putting out a mixtape that was slapping like that just back when he was 16, 17 and stuff, so it's a pretty good pitch for that. But yeah, some of those type ones, but listening to Avril Lavigne as well, some good stuff like that, just picking up some CDs here, or not CDs, but just purchasing them digitally, pitches like that, as far as that kind of goes. Just kind of getting back and forth, because I'm just running out of room, that's the thing. In my home, I just probably have over 200 CDs now. I just would look after this within the pitch behind it. So this is kind of the concept, you know, that room. Originally, I was pretty avid supporter of like, you know, CDs just 6 months ago, 10 months ago, pitches like that. But I'm starting to realize that just the room behind it. In addition, you know, Amazon is becoming a real bastard and a half. Once again, trying to purchase some of these type ones because they just charge you out the wazoo. You know, the $4 shipping's not as bad, but when you realize you're paying $22 for a CD where there's only 12 songs on there, it just doesn't feel worth it. When you can get the songs for 99 cents or $1.29, even with 12 songs, that should not add up to $22.99 or something like that. So Amazon, it's probably been since like 2022 for the most part. I mean, I bought like a Cinema Bazaar CD off of Amazon, which was a pretty good pitch just because it's only in Europe. It was the Toys album, which, you know, they don't have Bang, which is kind of unfortunate. And it's not, I mean, they have Final Attraction, but they don't have Bang and stuff, which is kind of a disappointing aspect, because I want that damn album, but this thing's really tough to track down. So I just had to buy songs digitally from that, but I just look after, I was able to purchase the CD form of toys, but it's just kind of, they don't commonly have those, so I just don't turn commonly, you know, they try to charge, like, Gazing at the Moonlight, the CD format for that song by Hobson, it's like, has to be, $50, something like that. King Gordy's The Entity was pretty expensive. I remember paying $50-something for that one. There's some ones, a Ouija Max CD is basically like a good $45 just for 10 or 12. Well, actually, the Ouija Max has over 15, but still, it's not. I think they just really realize, and I cannot figure out why a physical CD is just more expensive than digitally. I mean, it just defeats the purpose. I feel like they're just trying to rub that out as far as particularly kind of doing it, which is unfortunate because it's a good format. I mean, you get the artwork. Sometimes they have like posters. I mean, not that posters full bound, you know, but just they have. It's just the good concept of just being able to say that it just has some good pitches. Whether or not they just have primers for other stuff in there, some of those type of things, you just would look after it. But yeah. Yeah, so we're just breezing through this particular episode. It's a pretty good pitch here. I really do feel like this probably would have made a pretty excellent movie. I think probably it's too bad that Jet Li just was kind of more of like a static personality around this time. I mean, he definitely had his thriving movie career, but just in terms of like some bonus stuff that probably could have happened, I think just the atmosphere behind this particular game, Rise to Honor, if this would have just been like at least like, you know, some sort of FMV type movie that just could have been maybe not so much animated, but just something that probably could have, you just had seen just like the action sequences. I don't know, they probably could have just made it computer or something, you know, something like, you know, like one of those Avatar movies, something like that, and just done all the scenes from this particular movie and then just summed it up. Probably would have worked pretty well. I mean, cutting out most of the fight, I mean, I realize these fight scenes probably take like, you know, 5, 10, or, you know, 5 some odd minutes a pop, but just summarizing it and being able to do it better would be a great thing. But yeah, it's gonna have to be a thing there. But these enemies take a lot of hits. I mean, I'm whipping their ass left and right here, and they keep getting back up. It's not just the concept you think within the tone. I mean, you realize that you're knocking these guys out like 25, 30 times, and they're still getting back up and stuff. I'm trying to, you know, in some sense, I get hit a few times because I start to realize that when you use the counter attack, the basic concept about it is I want to say that the red bar only allows you to counteract so many times, so you have to actually fight a little bit to restore your counterattack. So this is kind of the concept that, you know, another thing that pisses me off about this is these enemies approach you from like, you know, adjacent kind of angles. So they don't approach you left and right, north, south, east, or west. They approach you from like northeast or southwest or southeast, you know, just from secondary angles that just make it more difficult to fight them and counter them. But yeah, so this is the boss. This is going to be the entirety of the next episode. Get ready for that, folks. Subscribe for more fun. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful night here.